Hello and welcome to Broken Seashell Stamping. This is Lani and today I am going to be sharing an alternate I have for the July 2026 Paper Pumpkin alternative. The card we're going to make as an alternate today is this one right here. So please hop along and I will help you make this alternate card. Alright, so the ink we're going to be using today is going to be the Bubble Bath and the one that came with the kit, which is the Timid Tiger. I'm going to set that aside for now. This is the kit. Now I've been putting mine, especially the boxes that are the regular orange paper pumpkin boxes, not the pretty ones. I've been taking those and what's the word? Condensing them down to this little box. So I'll cut the pieces apart so they'll fit in here, and then I label it and put it with the rest of them. And what I do with the instructions is they just go like that. Oh, there's my stamps that we use. My plastic pieces over here because I'm working on those. So I just put that in this little box, and then I'll put a label right here, and then I have a smaller, more condensed version of my stamps and my kits, so I can pull them out based off month on that way. So today we're going to use the cardstock background, and this one you can use Hydrangea hue, or if you have an old one, I had a lot of Boho blue left over, which worked out just great for this. So you can use either one of those colors. So the Hydrangea hue or any other blue that you have that coordinates. There are different colors that coordinate with this kit if you haven't looked before. So on these instructions right here under the stamps, at least for now until I move it, it says the coordinating Stampin' Up colors. So for this kit, it's Basic Black, Darling Duckling, Hydrangea Hue, Melon Mambo, Old Olive, and Timid Tiger. But the card base that came with it was this one. And I was like, that's not any of those colors. So this is either the new in color Barely Blush, but it looked really, really light for that. So there's Barely Blush. And so I feel like it's more Bubble Bath, which if you look here, I'm not sure if the camera shows, it's just a lighter version of Bubble Bath. So that's what I picked, even though it's not listed on the list of stamps or colors. So the card piece that you're going to use from the kit today is this one right here that has that fold in the middle, and then the size of your background, your base stamp, the size of your cardstock is going to be the 5.5 by 8.5. So you cut it at 5.5 inches the long ways, then you're going to score it at 4.25. And since we're doing long ways, it'll be this size, this direction. So what you want to do is cut this in the middle. So you're going to have a whole piece by itself for another card. And then this part where it has the fold, you're just going to cut and trim that little fold away. And what you get left with is this piece here, which if you look here is cut. So what I did is trim that in half, and then you're going to make this, so it ends up being about 2 inches wide. And then that's going to go on this part of your card, and it's cut at 4.25 inches. So those are the cuts. Next, you want to cut out your oval. So this is the oval that goes for this particular card. So the reason I got this design is I accidentally cut it in half the wrong measurement. I meant to do it exactly in half, and I ended up making it too big, but it worked out the better because I really like having these alternating shapes. So instead of it cut in half, you're going to cut it at 2 3/4. So half of this sheet is 2 1/2. So you want to move it over just a little bit at 2 3/4. You're going to cut along the long edge, so you'll have these nice 2 little oval or not arches right here. And then you're going to get your flowers out. So I already punched out these pieces, but you can do any amount of flowers you want. These are from the kit, and so we're going to use about 5 of those buds for this card. All right, let's get back to get to stamping. Okay, we're going to go ahead and start with this piece here. So what I did on this piece was just give it a little bit of aging or texture. So you're going to take your stamp pad, and then you're just going to slide it. And then I tried to get the corners like a little bit more inked up. So see that? So you just want to go around the whole perimeter of the little rectangle, and it can be as messy as you want because we want to be able to see some of that. So that looks about good right there. So for the arches here, if you look at the example, I just stamped off in different areas. So we want to do that first before we start assembling. So what I did is I got the little crisscross stamp that came with the kit, and I used my grid to kind of help. So can you see on the grid? Yeah, I used my grid to help get it straight. So I just kind of randomly decided to put it around. So let's do one there, and so right around here. Now most of this one's going to get hidden, but you can kind of follow the squares on your mat. Now it doesn't matter, but you can kind of at least use your mat grid lines as a guide to make these little lines straight. It's amazing how quickly they get out of sort. All right, so that's about 5 spots right there. That's the background, the bigger one, and then the smaller one. For this one, I use the Hooray. You can use Happy if you want, but I like the Hooray. So we want to make sure this fits at an angle. And I wanted to kind of leave a little space right for that in the middle. So where I'm going to stamp these ones is right up here in the corner. I'm just trying to use a little guide here on the grids, and you're going to stamp there. And I did one down here, one over here. See, I don't know if you can see I'm following those grid marks just to give it a little straight line up. And then that corner. If you see, the Hooray is going to fit right in there. So that's all that we're going to stamp with that one. So you can go ahead and put, yeah, we're done with the bubble bath. So go ahead and put that one away. And I'll clean off my stamp. Now, if you want to do It's Your Day right now, so it's all done, you're going to get out this one here. I had another stamp one to show you. And it's back in the box. So, okay. So we're going to use one of these little banners and the It's Your Day. Get the Timid Tiger. And this is when the grids really help too. Make sure we get that nice and inked. And try right in the middle. I'm trying to do this where my head's not in the way. A little crooked, but that's okay. If you don't like it, you can always go on the other side. Yeah, a little bit too much crooked. So I'm doing here down here where I can actually see it. But that's how you would do it. Just I can't see. There you go. Trying to not get it on the camera and I still messed it up. My head. There we go. So set that aside. And I'm done with the ink at the moment. All right, now we're gonna assemble this. So get your multi-purpose glue out, or you can use the tear-in tape that came with the kit. I just prefer to use the liquid glue. I'm just gonna put that here. This one came out of nowhere. I was putting something together with this alternative, and then all of a sudden I was like, oh, I could do this. Oh, I could do that. So we're gonna put this right here. Leave about a 1/2 inch on the outside here. That's about a 1/2 inch. Let's see here. A little bit, 9/16, but that's fine. It just has to have a little bit of a border over there. So put that down. Now the big one is done stamping, so we can go ahead and adhere that one down. But this one, I did a pop-up on it. So let's just put the glue here, because then we're just gonna put the flowers together and our alternative is done. It's a really quick card considering, thanks to the paper pumpkin kit being so pretty. All right, I did it about halfway through. So you just want to put it a little bit there because we're going to offset the smaller one. So there you go. And then the smaller one is going to be offset a little bit here. Leave a little bit of a gap. And that will be where we put that one. Okay. And I'm pretty sure I put hooray on there and then I adhered it. So let's take the hooray out. Now what's really nice about this kit, I love that Stampin' Up! Put the adhesive on these, because so many times with these little, if you're really careful, it's super sticky. So you don't want to rip it like I did there. See, look at that. Kind of ripped it. They're really sticky. So you're gonna be very careful pulling them up, but it's nice to have the adhesive on it, because trying to put adhesive on these thin little words is never easy. And if I figure out a better trick to getting these off of here, I will let you know. So, getting out this hooray, which is being difficult. Almost, there we go. So you can see that part ripped a little bit, and I'm just gonna help it along. There is enough adhesive on here that's really sticky to keep it down. In fact, let's snip it off so it's not, so I don't pull it. Okay, now we're just gonna take the hooray, put it right in between. There's a little, there you go. A little sticky piece left there. Right between the areas that we stamped. I'm just gonna put it right there. Okay. Even though that's down, so even though that's sticking up a little bit, our tag is going to go right there, so it's not going to matter. So these, I use the dimensionals to put this down. Now we're ready to adhere our hooray. And we're just going to offset it just shortly. I gave it a little bit more space on the other one, but it really doesn't matter. As long as you've got a little bit offset. And these may not line up 100%, but the flowers are gonna offset that. So there you go. Go ahead and push it down. And now it's our day. So what I did with this one is I put a piece of dimensional right on the end. And then you put a little bit of glue right there because it's going to be a little off, and yet so this part's going to be flat. You just use your grid to kind of help it get straight. And there we go. So that part's done. Now we get to put the flowers on. So you can put the flowers, well actually let's do the leaves first, but you can put the flowers anywhere you want. So this one I put right up here, and I just adhered it down, but I put one of the leaves on the top. So I used what came with the kit, the little circles, because this really helped out. So I'll show you that. Okay, so I used 5 of those, and they're really delicate, so you want to be very careful. That's why I use the take your pick tool to take it off. So I'm just going to put one of the leaves right there on the top of the little arch, and then we're going to put the rest flat down right there. And any of them that might not be glued down will be fine because we're going to put all those flowers on it. And with the flowers, I use the mini dimensionals as well. So to help speed up your process, what you do is you take all your flowers, and let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and I think there is a 5th one. That's the 6th, and I know, there it is. No. The orange one here and the blue one here, I used the little circle. So these ones all had the mini dimensional. So I'll go ahead and speed that up. Okay, now that we've got all those ready to assemble, let's go ahead and put these down. So I started with the blue one right over here. Kind of just went on, put it on the top of that first arch. The orange one is in the background, so it goes right here. One of the pinks, I think the darker one, I put right here. And then this light pink one, oh, I put it on the wrong side. That will be okay. I think that, yeah, it's the wrong side. That will be okay because the yellow is going to go on the top. My bad. Whoopsies. See, everybody makes mistakes. There's always a fix to it. So, and that one went down here. Now I actually did this one flat, but since I already have the pop-up on it, we'll just put the pop-up right there. And then this last pink one here, I kind of tucked one of the petals under a little bit. You know, that one was flat too. Let's go ahead and make it flat. I didn't realize how much more flat I put some of these. Which, it works out. It's all good. It'll have a little bit of raise to it because the foam's left over. But, okay, let's put that flat down there. Okay. This one goes right up here. And then this is the other cool part of these is the stickers for the inside. So I'm going to speed this up, and you're going to put the larger ones on the larger flowers, these ones here, and then the smaller medium ones on the medium size, and then the little tiny one on these ones up here. There's one thing I forgot. So I did also do a little bit of this ephemera surgery, so to speak. So I cut off one of these little leaves. I'm not too fond of this particular layout, with the long flower stems all along the side. So what I did is I made a little leaf for the other side because there's not a lot of greenery for this card. No, it's I believe it's mossy meadow. I have to look it up. Old olive. And so you can make some leaves, but I wanted it to match these leaves, and these go right over here just to add a little bit of green on that side. So I wanted to just show you this real quick. So you put those in there, and that will really make your card a little bit more balanced, in my opinion. So let's get these little. The reason I put two is because it's so small. I put one on each leaf. It's just small. So this adds that little bit of uniformity. Let's see. Let's stick it under this one here. We have some time before. Okay, there we go. Let's tuck it under this flower here. And there we go. See, that was what was missing. So now it gives you your full green part there. All right, thanks for that. Okay, that's the card. And then for a little bit of added embellishments, I used a few more little, it just needed a little something. And I was thinking about stamping up here, but I ended up using some of these. This was the strawberries and dots, but any sort of embellishment that you have will work with this. Well, that's the same color, will work with it. But I like these little foam pieces. You could probably even do the little strawberries, would be cute. And I just put the small ones just randomly around the rest of this card, just to give it a little pop. There we go. Okay, and there is our paper pumpkin alternate card. So I hope you enjoyed this little video, and hopefully this is some inspiration on different ideas for this kit. And I will be back with other alternatives. Hopefully, things have been crazy, so I haven't been able to do any more alternatives on a video, so I've just been doing them and mailing them out. So there's the two alternates for this kit, and I hope you enjoyed it. Thanks so much for watching, and have a great day.